Charged with this commission, Betsy had gone to Anna, and brought him back a negative reply. So much the better, thought Vronsky, when he received the news. It was a weakness, which would have shattered what strength I have left. Next day Betsy herself came to him in the morning, and announced that she had heard through Oblonsky as a positive fact that Alexei Alexandrovich had agreed to a divorce, and that therefore Vronsky could see Anna. Without even troubling himself to see Betsy out of his flat, forgetting all his resolutions, without asking when he could see her, where her husband was, Vronsky drove straight to the Karenins. He ran up the stairs seeing no one and nothing, and with a rapid step, almost breaking into a run, he went into her room. And without considering, without noticing whether there was anyone in the room or not, he flung his arms round her, and began to cover her face, her hands, her neck with kisses. Anna had been preparing herself for this meeting, had thought what she would say to him, but she did not succeed in saying anything of it. His passion mastered her. She tried to calm him, to calm herself, but it was too late. His feeling infected her. Her lips trembled so that for a long while she could say nothing. "Yes, you have conquered me, and I am yours," she said at last, pressing his hands to her bosom. "So it had to be," he said. "So long as we live, it must be so." "I know it now." "That's true," she said, getting whiter and whiter, and embracing his head. "Still there is something terrible in it after all that has happened." "It will all pass, it will all pass, we shall be so happy. Our love, if it could be stronger, will be strengthened by there being something terrible in it," he said, lifting his head and parting his strong teeth in a smile. And she could not but respond with a smile, not to his words, but to the love in his eyes. She took his hand and stroked her chilled cheeks and cropped head with it. "I don't know you with this short hair. You've grown so pretty. A boy. But how pale you are." "Yes, I'm very weak," she said, smiling. And her lips began trembling again. "We'll go to Italy, you will get strong," he said. "Can it be possible we could be like husband and wife, alone, your family with you?" she said, looking close into his eyes. It only seems strange to me that it can ever have been otherwise. Steva says that he has agreed to everything, but I can't accept his generosity, she said, looking dreamily past Vronsky's face. I don't want a divorce, it's all the same to me now. Only I don't know what he will decide about Seryosha. He could not conceive how at this moment of their meeting she could remember and think of her son, of divorce. What did it all matter? Don't speak of that, don't think of it, he said, turning her hand in his, and trying to draw her attention to him. But still she did not look at him. Oh, why didn't I die? It would have been better, she said, and silent tears flowed down both her cheeks, but she tried to smile, so as not to wound him. To decline the flattering and dangerous appointment at Tashkent would have been, Vronsky had till then considered, disgraceful and impossible. But now, without an instant's consideration, he declined it, and observing dissatisfaction in the most exalted quarters at this step, he immediately retired from the army. A month later Alexei Alexandrovich was left alone with his son in his house at Petersburg, while Anna and Vronsky had gone abroad, not having obtained a divorce, but having absolutely declined all idea of one. Part 5. Chapter 1. Princess Shtcherbatska considered that it was out of the question for the wedding to take place before Lent, just 5 weeks off, since not half the trousseau could possibly be ready by that time. But she could not but agree with Levin that to fix it for after Lent would be putting it off too late, as an old aunt of Prince Shtcherbatsky's was seriously ill and might die, and then the mourning would delay the wedding still longer. And therefore, deciding to divide the trousseau into 2 parts, a larger and smaller trousseau, the princess consented to have the wedding before Lent. She determined that she would get the smaller part of the trousseau all ready now, and the larger part should be made later, and she was much vexed with Levin because he was incapable of giving her a serious answer to the question whether he agreed to this arrangement or not. The arrangement was the more suitable as, immediately after the wedding, the young people were to go to the country, where the more important part of the trousseau would not be wanted. Levin still continued in the same delirious condition in which it seemed to him that he and his happiness constituted the chief and sole aim of all existence, and that he need not now think or care about anything, that everything was being done and would be done for him by others. He had not even plans and aims for the future, he left its arrangement to others, knowing that everything would be delightful. His brother Sergei Ivanovich, Stepan Arkadyevich, and the princess guided him in doing what he had to do. All he did was to agree entirely with everything suggested to him. His brother raised money for him, the princess advised him to leave Moscow after the wedding. Stepan Arkadyevich advised him to go abroad. He agreed to everything. Do what you choose, if it amuses you. I'm happy, and my happiness can be no greater and no less for anything you do, he thought. When he told Kitty of Stepan Arkadyevich's advice that they should go abroad, he was much surprised that she did not agree to this, and had some definite requirements of her own in regard to their future. She knew Levin had work he loved in the country. She did not, as he saw, understand this work, she did not even care to understand it. But that did not prevent her from regarding it as a matter of great importance. And then she knew their home would be in the country, and she wanted to go, not abroad where she was not going to live, but to the place where their home would be. This definitely expressed purpose astonished Levin. But since he did not care either way, he immediately asked Stepan Arkadyevich, as though it were his duty, to go down to the country and to arrange everything there to the best of his ability, with the taste of which he had so much. But I say, Stepan Arkadyevich said to him one day after he had come back from the country, where he had got everything ready for the young people's arrival, have you a certificate of having been at confession? No,